Hello, everyone. Welcome to TheVegasTourist.com podcast. I am Mark Anthony. We are up to episode number 214. I'm out here at the beautiful Hoover Dam. Once I'm done here, I'm going to go back home, get into the recording studio, and do the podcast with my wonderful wife, Debbie. We're going to talk about things that we've been up to here in Las Vegas, as well as an interview with Ryan Hamilton, the owner of Celebrity Cars in Las Vegas. So for those of you on video, there is plenty of video on this. For those of you on the audio podcast, plenty of juicy stuff to listen to as well. So once again, here's Carl. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the VegasTourist.com podcast. I'm Mark Anthony, and the other voice you're going to be hearing is
Debbie Anthony.
Ooh. And for those of you that are on YouTube, there's going to be some wonderful video along with this podcast. So check us out at thevegastourist.com. We have an interview at the end of this podcast with Ryan Hamilton, the owner of Celebrity Cars Las Vegas. So if you're into classic vintage cars and street rides and all that, and you want to buy one or just drool over them, you'll want to listen to that one. So you have some Danish cookies, don't you?
I do.
From
Chef Fleming's Bake Shop down on Water Street in Henderson.
That's where we got our wedding cake from.
No, we hired a woman to do our wedding cake.
Oh.
That's the cake you bought me for my birthday.
That's it. That's your birthday cake.
Yes, my birthday cake.
Chocolate one.
Yes.
And so they sent you a coupon by email, and you went down there and you got some...
Yes, they sent me a coupon, so I had to go check it out. I'd never been in there.
For a woman who's lived in Henderson for 30 years.
I didn't know it was there. I just don't... Until I met you, I didn't really pay attention to all the little mom and pop shops, but...
This is Danish.
Yeah, and you introduced me to Solvang in California, little Dutch town, and I got hooked. I'm hooked on Florentine cookies. They are the best.
Yeah.
So I seen the coupon. I decided to hop in the car on lunch at work and drive down to see what they had and if they had them. And guess what? They didn't actually have the kind that I liked, but he had enough of the stuff to put them together for me. So
He made them for you.
he made them for me, custom made.
All right. Chef Fleming, you will be on our website. Thank you very much. They were delicious.
I think we should go in and have a little chat with him. He
We
should
should.
be one of our podcasts.
There you go. Got to be 121 in Death Valley on Monday
And how do you know that?
because I was there.
And why was that?
I had told you that it was that they were either going to be German
Or Asian.
or Asian. Those are the primary two groups that want to hit Death Valley in July. Nope, it was a family from the UK. And it
What was their excuse for wanting to see Death Valley in mid-July?
because when they were here in October, it was raining.
Okay.
So they said, cool, we'll do it in July. I went, okay. They thought it'd be cool.
I bet they learned otherwise.
Well, it was kind of funny because, as we went along, they got less and less enthused of getting out of the vehicle.
It's amazing, really.
However, for those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you also saw some other stuff that was up there. Two Nimrods doing damage to bad water. I'm so sick of these idiots thinking the national parks are their playgrounds.
Right.
I'm going to start to carry a shovel.
And not for good purposes. Well, for very good purposes, but not for legal purposes.
Tourists? You saw two tourists? No. Well, there's two heads sticking out of the sand way out there.
See the ones the scorpions are crawling all over?
Yeah. Can you hear them screaming? Oh, no, you can't hear them screaming because the scorpions are in their mouths. Yes.
That's the ones.
Put that on Facebook and go, okay, anyone else want to come out to Death Valley and do damage? God, I was just furious.
Is it just, are they from other countries? Are they just ignorant of what they're doing? Or is there something we can do to school them? Or
Yeah,
are they
shoot
just
'em.
being stupid?
Shoot them. You know, I mean, these idiots. The one, she was a urban artist. She had spray painted her initials or something on rocks and petroglyphs all over these national parks, and she plastered it all over Instagram. She got caught, and I think she got like a 30-day suspended sentence and like 2 hours community service. It's like, really?
Right.
You know?
And that's going to be there forever. You know, you can't undo that kind of damage.
These two spoke French. They had New Mexico license plates. I thought they were rental. I couldn't figure it out for sure, but there was a flag on the back bumper, which kind of threw me off. But you know, and unfortunately, I was dealing with my tour guest, so I couldn't really do anything other than capture a couple photos and 30 seconds of video. But that's it. Last time. That was anytime.
Ask Mark what his pet peeves are when it comes to the national parks.
Idiot tourists. Okay. Which, by the way, if you want to go out to Death Valley or Bryce Canyon, South Rim, God, I want to say the North Rim because I want to go back to the North Rim so freaking bad. And
just stay until September?
Detours offers 10% off of their small group tours. With the promo code TVT. So I will have those links up if you want to take a tour. Was out to Hoover Dam this morning. Had a wonderful time out there. I always love Hoover Dam. It's just fun. So this week we welcomed Cracker Barrel into the Vegas Valley.
Hallelujah.
We were told both of them are going to open up at the same time, and that's not right.
Oh, really?
The one at the Silverton opened on the 25th. Oh, and then the second one opens in September. That's going to be in North Las Vegas. So
they need to bring one over to our side.
No, because then
I wouldn't have to cook anymore.
No, that's true. We had USA Basketball in town, and for those of you that don't know, USA Basketball is where they choose our Olympic basketball team to go to. This year, they're going to Rio. And the USA basketball team is mostly made up of NBA players, okay? And so they come in, they do some practice shots, they play with the coaches and all of that stuff. And it's kind of it's kind of a fun deal because these guys are not competing with each other, you know, like they do during the NBA season.
Right.
This is just a pickup game to those guys. Okay. Now the big players like LeBron, did, like LeBron James, is sitting out the Olympics because of the Zika virus and the violence down there. And it's like, you know, I would too. You know, there's no reason to risk your life.
Yeah.
For
life and limb to go down there and play. Play a game with other.
Yeah, it's like I got my $100 million contract. I don't need to put myself at risk, get shot, get mugged, whatever.
Right.
Okay. But and then they pick who's going to be on the Olympic team, and then those guys play a couple round robin games, and then the final day they actually play a team, and this year they played Argentina. But it's when I go there with Roadkill Rick,
right,
who is the biggest. Anyway,
fun guy there he is.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick.
Yeah. But it's so funny because he knows everyone. It is just so frickin' funny because when you see him, he doesn't look like this would be a person that would know everyone. And when we go in for the practices, the players aren't there yet. We're at the UNLV campus there, and there's a long line of media people and sports people that want to get in to watch this. Rick, you just follow me, and we just walk up to the front, and you know, and the guy's up front, "Hi, Rick, how you doing? Come on in, you know." And some of them are the security people, and some of them are actually sports people.
Wow.
You know, if it's not the sports people letting us walk by, it's the security guards going, "Hey, Rick, come on in. Don't worry, come on here. Do I need a band? No, come on, just tell him you know me, okay.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah. You know, and then it's so funny because you have the media people, and they're like behind the lines, and we're on the other side of the lines, and they're all looking at us going, "Who in the hell are you two guys?"
I'm sure that's not what they're actually saying.
And then, you know, like I said, during these practices, this is a pickup game. In comes the team, or in comes the players, and they're like 7'5", you know, and the media just mobs them, and it's so funny because the security people, of course, the USA Basketball security people are trying to manage this, and it's like, yeah, right. You can't do that. Okay, maybe you can. No.
Oops.
Run them over. It's like, no, back up, split the wall. It's like, yeah, right, go away, dude. Okay, and then, you know, and then while they're doing this, they've got kids. I don't know how these kids were chosen through a contest or what, but you have these kids out there that are being the ball guys, you know, catching the balls and throwing them back at them. And meanwhile, these basketball players are coaching them. You know, you have these 10, 12, 13-year-old kids being coached by an NBA player.
Wow.
You know, it's like, that is
probably their dream.
No, it is. It is. It is just this really cool, just kind of a fun fest. Although, you know, they have to choose who is going to be on the team. But okay, so they do that for a couple of hours, and then it's like, okay, we're done, and they march off, get on the bus, and off they go.
And go away.
You know? Yeah. Okay. All right. And then Friday. Now the practices and all that were held at the UNLV campus, Cox Pavilion, or whatever that little area there is called. And then on Friday, the team plays their first game, and this one is against Argentina, and it's at T-Mobile Arena.
Ooh.
I actually got a real tour of T-Mobile Arena this time.
Not that attempted tour that we got?
Not that 5-minute. Okay, guys. There it is. Peek.
There's the escalator. Yep. There's the top floor. There's the bottom floor.
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay. Any questions I can't answer? Yeah. Okay. This the average work person there, the average usher and security person there are really nice people. They are really nice people. It's a really cool arena, but you know, it's $12 for a beer. You know, but within all organizations like this, you have the supervisor who, you know, because they only work two or three times a month, they've got to show that they're the supervisor. It's like, dude, go away. We know what we're doing. We're professionals. We have the badge.
Right.
But do you have a ticket? We have the badge. We don't need a ticket. This badge means we can walk around and we can go where we need to take photos from. Well, you have to have a ticket. What does this badge say? Media. Okay. What does this camera look like? A camera. Okay. Put the two together. We are media. We don't have a seat. Well, you have to have a designated spot. Yes, we do.
Or we don't.
Well, we were assigned a desk, a workspace. But it's a workspace. It's, you know, they didn't expect us to sit there.
Well, you can't take all your photos from one spot to start
No.
with. You have to move around to get those shots you want.
But it's so funny. It's like, I don't care if you have a badge. I do. I'm not moving. This is a reserved area. Yeah, for me. Bye. Okay. But once again, my theory on businesses and business professionals that fail in Las Vegas was in complete example was USA basketball Friday night against Argentina. Whoever did the setup for this game did it from someplace other than Las Vegas. They must have thought this was bumfuck Egypt. Okay. I mean, first of all, Argentina came out in these brown gunny sacks. That's the only way that I can explain them.
They had tan uniforms.
They were either a gunny sack that Hillary Clinton wears for $12,000, or they were a prison uniform that got colored wrong. But they blended in with the hardwood floor.
They were tan uniforms, almost the same shade as the wood floors.
Yeah,
So they basically blended in.
And then then Team USA came out, and they are in these like bright whites.
I saw some of the photos. It's like bright white against the missing team that all you saw were heads and legs.
Right. And
A photographer's nightmare.
Yeah. And I'm sitting next to Rick, and Rick's like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
Going to Photoshop these damn things. Holy criminy. And that, but the funniest part, and I really felt sorry for the girl, was the halftime entertainment. When they brought out I think they were called the Russian Bar Team. And they were two big Russian guys and a little ballerina. And apparently they're really big on America's Got Talent.
Oh.
And the two big Russians, they stand across from each other, and they hold up these two bars that flex, and this little ballerina gets up on it, and she jumps, and she does the flips and all that. And it's like, that probably sells really good in Idaho.
Right.
But in Vegas here, it's like in every other show.
Yeah, pretty much. It's covered probably 10 times better in most surf shows.
Well, that's what was so funny is everyone in our row was going, that's absinthe. Well, actually, in absinthe, they are doing that on stools that are balanced on top of each other with a guy holding a tray full of glasses
right
on top of 3 chairs.
Yes, and then there's a girl on his shoulders.
Yes, doing the flips. Okay,
Right.
Having 2 guys and 2 bars and 1 ballerina.
That's all. That's all you got.
And I felt sorry for her because she kept trying to get the audience to applaud. And everyone's sitting there going, "This is Vegas, babe.
Yeah, is this all you got?
We see this level on Fremont Street."
Yeah, opening acts.
Yes.
This is opening acts.
This is Vegas. You don't bring the B team to Vegas.
And it wasn't even topless.
No, it wasn't. Well,
So
with her, you couldn't tell. But anyway. And
you're such a boy.
well, it was so funny because it was like the last time that they did this. I think it was Chile, but last time we had LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, and Kobe is only I think Kobe is like 5'11", okay, and I mean he was taller than the Chile from the players from Chile. So here we are with Argentina. And most of these guys were just like, "Oh my God, we're playing with the NBA guys. We're playing with the NBA guys. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And
kind of like watching that Super Jam with Michael Jordan versus Bugs Bunny.
That's exactly what this was. That is the only thing I could keep thinking of because
Space Jam. That's the name of the movie.
Jam.
Space Jam.
Yes, because it was so funny because the USA team wasn't playing. They were just kind of throwing the ball back and forth. And once in a while, the Argentinians would grab it and score. But the NBA players were just like playing catch.
Yeah. This is like what we would do at our backyard at home. This is not a competition.
After about 10 beers. And they would let Argentina get really close, and then they'd blow them out. And then they'd play, that whole cat and mouse thing. Okay, let's just let them get real close, and then, okay, 30 points ahead. And then, okay, we get them really good. Then 30 points ahead.
Right.
Okay. And you're just like, oh, my God.
This is painful to watch.
It was. It was. It was just,
Anyway.
World Series of Poker wrapped up the main event. We're down to the November 9 group. 5 people from the USA. This is the largest American contingent I've seen in a long time. 1 player from Canada, one player from Belgium, 1 from the Czech Republic, and 1 from Spain. Each of them is guaranteed $1 million when they return on October 30th. The winner will only receive $8 million.
That's all.
Oh, yeah. Well, they used to receive 12.
Oh.
Okay. You're not going to see anything from us there. The final table, you don't get to see the whole card, and I mean, it is worse than watching paint dry. It is absolutely worse than watching paint dry. Okay. MGM just cannot find. I swear they have one department that is dedicated to screwing over the customer. And
you wonder who's in charge of that department and what he does in the morning when he gets up and has his coffee.
I think there's a bet going on between the CEO of MGM and the CEO of Caesars. Going, okay, at what point does the customer say, F you, I'm not returning? Which one of us is going to reach that point first, okay? And MGM so far is in the lead. Caesars just knows how to go deep in debt. That's all they know how to do, and do really horrible shows. MGM, well, except for Absinthe. Okay, now they're raising the resort fee. On top of the parking fee, now they're raising the resort fee. Now, for those of you that don't know what the resort fee is, it's a Vegas deal, okay? However, Disneyland now wants to charge it. And it's like, dude, you're already staying in a captured market.
Right.
I mean, if you want to stay at a hotel at Disneyland, there's only a Disneyland hotel you can stay at.
Right.
So it's not like there's competition.
Right.
So charging a resort fee on top of that makes no sense other than you being the greedy bastards that you are.
Right.
Well, here in Vegas, they try to go, there's value here. You get free internet service. And
we get free internet service.
Well, the internet they have sucks, but, and it's like, you get to walk in our doors.
Oh, goody.
You get to use our elevators. You get to use the workout room, and you get free long-distance phone calls. And it's like,
So? Most people have cell phones.
Yeah. I'm like, the only benefit to that is internet, and it's crappy internet anyway, and you're paying $35 to $40 a day. Technically, what it is, this is how they get the money back for paying the commissions to Expedia. Okay, when you book on Expedia or sites like that, they have to pay a commission, and so it's like, okay, we're just going to charge the commission to the customer, and we'll get it back. Although a majority of the room bookings are actually direct to the hotel, so it's like, it's like, God, $35 for nothing. That just pisses me off. It's like, and then they go, okay, we're charging you $10 for parking, but we're going to build a new parking ramp. See, look at that, okay. And I got to say, they are building that new parking ramp behind the Excalibur that's going to be designated for T-Mobile and the park. They're actually coming along really, really good at it. So they figure it'll be done mid 2017. I'm saying it's going to be done by Christmas.
Wow.
Well, hey, 3,000 parking spaces, 10 to $20 a pop. Okay.
You got a point.
Hey, where are we going this weekend?
We're going to go see lions.
What lions?
Lions and tigers
What
and bears.
lions?
At the lion habitat here in Las Vegas.
But what lions are the basis of the habitat?
I haven't the foggiest idea.
I'm going to slap you.
You just told me I get to go see lions, and you know how I am with wildlife, so I get to go see lions. I know we have a lion habitat in town, and I know I want to go see it, and when you said we get to go interview them, I'm all over it.
The lion habitat is the ranch that used to have the MGM lions.
Oh, I believe you've told me that before.
Yes.
I believe I forgot. No wonder I'm going to get slapped.
And then just like, what was the one over by Kingman Call of the Wild?
Keepers of the
Keepers
Wild.
of the Wild.
I'm going to slap you.
Kind of the same thing. They are rescue habitat as well as they are these are the same ones that we used to see at the MGM before the MGM got really greedy, kicked them out, and put that really stupid nightclub in it. All right. There's the updates. We are now caught up on all things that I think are important to Las Vegas. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, of course, you can catch us at thevegastourist.com. Catch us on Facebook, YouTube, and all of that good stuff. Coming up next is Ryan Hamilton, owner of Celebrity Cars Vegas. He's a lifer. He was born and raised here.
There's not a lot of those around.
No, there is not.
It's always fun to talk to one.
His place was hosting the Las Vegas territory meeting. We had a banquet there, and we were surrounded by really cool cars.
I saw something about a Barbie motorcycle.
That was so funny.
A hot pink Barbie motorcycle.
For some reason, I saw Allie on that.
Did you?
I did.
I'm thinking her dad might have a problem with that.
That's our granddaughter. I'm like,
Yeah, our 5-year-old granddaughter on a motorcycle. A pink motorcycle.
Okay. Give her 10
Give her 10 years.
10 years, yeah. But yeah, okay. So I shot a lot of video of the cars that he's got there. He buys and sells them and shows them off and all of that. So this is it, as usual. So then at the end, we'll do a closing, and that's it. So here is Ryan Hamilton, Celebrity Cars Vegas. We're at Celebrity Cars Las Vegas speaking to Ryan Hamilton, owner of the business. What exactly is Celebrity Cars Las Vegas?
Celebrity Cars Las Vegas is a exotic car and classic car showroom. We do everything from Lamborghinis and Ferraris to 57 Chevys, muscle cars, Harleys, Ducatis, just about any fun and rare vehicle that you can think of. We have a showroom here that's about 20,000 square feet. We keep it housed with about 60 or more vehicles at any one time. They all are for sale. We do buy and sell just like any dealership. We also rent this venue as an event space. So Celebrity Cars event space is somewhere where, just like any other ballroom, you can set up a dinner party, you can set up a charity event. We can seat upwards of 300 to 400 people for a seated dinner charity event. We can do over 1,000 people for a charity event, or actually a product launch, corporate event, any sort of cocktail party that you would do in a ballroom, anything like that.
Surround your guests in chrome and leather.
Exactly.
How did you get into this?
Just started buying and selling cars 15 and plus years ago. We started the business about that time. Has taken different forms, but all relating to buying and selling cars and unique and rare vehicles.
How long have you been in Vegas?
I was born in Las Vegas.
Really?
I was.
Oh, all right, cool. Which high school?
The Meadows.
All right.
On Summerlin.
I always get asked that. What school? What school? Okay, all right. Now, so you now these cars are on consignment, or Some are, some aren't.
Some are and some aren't. We do a little bit of both. So if you do have a car that you wanted to sell, we depending on the car and the price point, and we try to be fair with everything that we have here. We do buy them. We do take them in on trade, just depending on the situation. But it's a little bit of both is the short answer.
I know in the fall we have the Barrett-Jackson auction.
Mm-hmm.
What is the market for the exotic cars right now? Is it a hot market for certain cars, cold market, or?
Yeah, I think everything is pretty good right now. It has its ups and downs depending on weather, and believe it or not, even the political elections actually have
Involves
an effect on
yes.
things. People are worried that maybe they'll have more taxes next year if a certain person goes in or doesn't go in, and it makes it where people don't necessarily want to make an expensive exotic car purchase. But overall it's been pretty solid, and depending on the car and how you price it is really what it comes down to. There's usually a market for everything.
Do you go out looking for cars, or do they come to you, or both?
Most of the time they come to us. There's certain ones we do look for, but most of the time we really have a pretty good group of customers, and getting more and more well known in the market that people do come to us.
So folks can come in here and drool and look and touch, but not sit in.
Yeah, no touching. Take lots of pictures, but yeah, everything is for sale. People can come in. There's no charge to come in and look around. You'll see cars that you've probably never even seen before, and have a good experience, and good for people of all ages.
What kind of groups have had their events here?
We've done a lot of different things. We've done Rotary Club charity events, dinner party charity events where you have a cocktail reception before and a high-end dining experience afterwards. We work with a couple different in-house catering companies that we use that handle our catering. We also have done some product launches of new, even new vehicles that are coming out. We've done things like that. We've done theme parties, theme birthday parties. Somebody wants to, take pictures with a 70s muscle car. We can do things like that here for somebody's birthday. So.
You've got the room to do a photo shoot of a specific car if they want.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
What is your personal car? What do you drive normally? What kind of car?
I don't. I typically drive something different on a daily basis. Honestly, it depends where we're going. We, if we're doing an event, we do some outside promotional things where we'll take cars to car shows and different openings of a restaurant, things like that. But
is there a particular vehicle that has not come through here that you would like to see come through here?
I personally enjoy some of the rare Ferraris and Porsches and things like that, and there's a few, that I have my eye on that I, like to see come through here.
Now being in Vegas, we attract the people from all over the world. Where's the furthest place that you have sold a car to?
We've sold. I'm all over the world for sure.
Really?
We just sent a car to Romania. We've sent several cars to Australia. The money exchange rates as being a little bit lower. It's not as beneficial for them to buy things here as it used to be. Even we used to sell a lot to Canada. That's kind of slowed down a little bit just with the Canadian dollar being a little bit lower. But yeah, we've sent cars all over the world for sure.
Wow. Okay. All right. Showroom is open when?
Every day except for Sunday, 9 to 7 on weekdays, and then 10 to 5 on Saturday.
Okay. Now, since you are born and raised in Vegas, there aren't a whole lot of you guys out.
That's true.
What is your favorite Vegas show?
Right now, probably Absinthe is probably one of my favorites. It's a good combination of comedy and kind of a Cirque du Soleil type acrobatics and things like that.
If somebody was to ask you, I'm coming into Vegas for the first time, what would be the 3 things that you would tell them to do?
I'd probably say, as long as the weather is permitting, walk up and down the strip would be the first thing, or at least, to get an idea of things you want to see. I think, they're seeing the outside of it's just as fun as sometimes seeing the inside of it. I'd also say to go to some sort of a outdoor activity to see, what Vegas has a little bit more to offer, whether it's Lake Mead or Mount Charleston or Red Rock, just to see something. Get out of the town and see that there are real people here and that people actually do live here and don't all live in hotels.
Yeah.
But those things, and then maybe even walk through downtown Vegas, just because it's a little bit of a, historical. There's some interesting
Old
things.
world.
It's a big change between walking through the Forum shops and walking downtown in Las Vegas, just to have a little bit of a change of pace.
Hidden gem, Vegas hidden gem. One that you think that people don't know about but should know about.
Besides celebrity cars?
Yes.
I think it depends on your interest. I mean, there's a lot of little hole in the wall restaurants that are fun, if that's something. If dining is your thing, if you want to see cars, there's at the Link there. Friends of ours have the auto collection there. If you wanted to see cars a little different than what we have, a lot of pre-war Rolls Royces and things like that. If you're into vehicles, you can go do the racing things out at the Speedway. There's a lot of little things. It just depends on what your interests are. I mean, as far as hidden gems go,
Vegas has it.
They have it all.
Final question. Favorite Vegas movie?
I guess the first one that comes to mind is probably Casino.
Yeah.
I think it's, whether it's realistic or not, I wasn't quite old enough to experience the old mob Vegas, but I think there's probably a lot of realism in there that people don't want to admit to.
Any other ones?
Yeah, that's probably it off the top of my head.
Since you brought that up, is there anything that you miss from what most people call the old Vegas?
Yeah, I think it's, it's changed a lot as far as with corporations running things. I guess there's become less of a personalization of, it's still a lot of who in this town, and it's still a very small town. But
it's a very small town,
especially in the business community. But to go down and have dinner at a strip restaurant has changed a lot. Most locals aren't interested in doing it anymore, and they are going away from that. I mean, they are charging for parking. They are doing all those different things that are to, unfortunately, it's to the benefit of the hotel, of course, but it is trying to go after purely the tourist market. It's not, they're not trying to entice a local to come down and have a steak at the Wynn Steakhouse, because it's not, and every once in a while it's fine, but it's very pricey, and it doesn't, it's not going to be for everyone. So
how do people find you?
For us, we do a lot of internet traffic. CelebrityCars.com is our website. You can see all of our inventory, find more information on event planning and events that we've done, as well as we have some different ways of advertising. We do some billboards along the way, but we do spend a lot of time and effort marketing our particular vehicles as well.
You're on Dean Martin Drive.
We are on
famous Dean Martin
yes,
Drive.
Yeah, the old Vegas.
That's right.
But yeah, we're on Dean Martin Drive near Blue Diamond, and I-15 is the exit over by the Silverton.
Just as you're coming into Vegas from California.
Yep.
All right. Well, Ryan, I appreciate your time. Thank you, and I love the cars.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Ryan Hamilton. Yeah.
Yay.
we have, what do we have? We have Celebrity Cars. We have Shelby Motors. We have the car collection at the Link. We've got the Hollywood Car Museum. And we've got Count's Cars.
Count's Customs.
Count's Customs,
Don't
yes.
forget Count's Customs.
Oh, I love that one. So, all right. That's it, folks. Thank you for listening. There is a video up on YouTube. As always, like this video, like this podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Links will be in the show notes. Leave us your comments, your questions, your thoughts, your ideas, all right? For the Vegas Tourist, I'm Mark Anthony, and you are?
I'm Debbie Anthony.
That's Debbie Anthony. Have a good day. We will all talk to you again later.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Why not?
Okay.